This is the worst type of ATM client to have. So a few days ago, I went to go check out an ATM that's been offline for a few days. The location is a restaurant that sells buffet-style food. They keep everything warm using steam tables, so that creates a lot of steam and humidity inside the store. So they use these big industrial dehumidifiers to keep the inside the store cool. One of these industrial-sized dehumidifiers was plugged into the same outlet as my machine. Now, the side of the store where my machine is located always loses power, and I always have to come after a few days of realizing that it's been offline to come and remind them or to ask them to please reset the breaker. Now, of course, due to the constant power cuts and the machine being off, there is a dip in revenue from the machine. I've had numerous discussions with the store owner about this and asked him if he can move the dehumidifier to another part of the store. That way the ATM won't experience any more power cuts and loss in revenue. He does temporarily move it to the other side, and then I have to find out a few days later that he moved it back by the loss of power. Now, this is the type of client that always asks for a bigger check or always asks me why isn't the check as big as last month or the months before, and I always have to refer to the constant power cuts that are taking a toll on the revenue. I explained to him that if he wanted to see a higher check every month, he must keep the dehumidifier on the other side of the store. That way we don't experience any more power cuts. He refused to keep it on the other side of the store, saying that it works better on this side of the store. And then I offered a new solution of moving the ATM to the other side of the store and keeping it there. He refused and said that the ATM must stay where it is and that it must work where it is. And I told him that it's not going to run efficiently and to the best it can under these conditions. After a few more tries of trying to convince him, he finally looked over at me and said, "I don't want the machine anymore, and make sure you take it before you leave." I then told him this was honestly for the best. I can't keep coming back here every 2 to 3 days just to flip a breaker. I know electricians who charge just to do that. If you have a client that's unwilling to work with you and make your life easier while trying to make him money, that is definitely not a client you want to keep. The hardest part about being in this business is client retention. If that client does not want to be retained, it is no point and not worth the effort to try to keep them. Let me know if you guys would have handled that a little differently than I did. If you guys want to see more behind the scenes of what goes on in this business, hit subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed.